Hello everybody, we have a A1706 and I'm going to show you how easy it is to replace and how quick it is to replace a battery if you know what you're dealing with. So let's get right into it. First I'm always trying to test if the machine takes 20 volts and if it's turning on. First thing we need is a P2, a T2 and a T3. I see we have a missing screw. I'm going to write that down. Not a big deal. First we're going to take back or out the cover. A blade to get underneath. Then we're going to slide here to this corner with a plastic tool. Right up a little. The same on the other side. Be careful, the edges may be sharp. Then I'm going to push away from me carefully, and then the cover is open. Good. Next thing we're going to do is disconnect the battery. For this I'm taking the T4, starting with, this may stick a little bit, so be careful. You can also start by taking out the PC connector very carefully. These lids are very fragile, so they may fall out, but you could stick them back in. So here, then I'm going underneath, pulling here at the lid very slightly, and we're off. Bending it over. So the ground pad. Lift it up a little bit. Now we're safe to work on. There is no more power going through the board. 2 screws from the battery board. Then I think that's a smaller one, but before I'm changing my tip, I'm taking these 2 big ones out too. Because if we put away these screws, we can lift it up slightly, and this makes life easier because we have to slide underneath the board a little bit. Then I'm going to change to T2. I'm going to take this one out, this one, if I can, not magnetic enough, this one. Of course we have to take out the trackpad. 1, 2. Careful. Tweezers. Metal bracket. Disconnecting with my nails. Pulling it very slowly off the battery. Bend it over. And in the meanwhile, we need some alcohol, and we do not want to destroy the screen because we have backlight faults, and this may suck into the foils. And so now I'm going to flip up the machine, put it here like that. Okay, now I'm going to take some alcohol before I proceed. Here, 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 top, every side, just a little bit. Don't need too much. If you get yourself a new battery, you have this tool. Works very good. And I'm going to start here on this corner, going underneath, carefully, underneath the cables. Then I'm going to hold here with not too much strength. I'm going to start to push in carefully, very slowly. We're sliding in very slowly. Take your time, don't hassle. Done. And then the critical part. I'm gonna slide first here in this corner and try to keep the blade as straight as possible, not bending it down. Or you may have, we have two cutouts of the metal shield, and if you go in like this, then you may damage some components on the trackpad. So keep it as straight, as horizontal as possible. Okay, I think we're done. Everything should be safe. I did bend the cable just a little bit, that's okay. The next thing is we can now, with a plastic tool, lift that up a little bit, the board. Also here, to slide that. Here we have the flex cables going a little bit underneath the board. Now I'm going to take my fingernail, lift it up carefully. Be sure to have the ground point bend over. About 90 degrees is enough. And that's it. We're out. Nothing damaged. Okay, then we're going to get rid of that adhesive. I'm going to take heat. You can also, or may also, take a fan. That's completely up to you. 140°C, 80 air. If it's original, then it should come up very easy. It takes some time. Maybe the first time it may not look as nice as that, but number one. Very nice. Awesome. Dude, this one is a bit, does not come off very easy. Personally, if it takes too long, then I'm going to leave this one. The most important one are here, here, and here. You can leave this. It's not a big deal. Let's try, just make it for a nice video. But I think that's, yeah, that's coming off like a pain. Make sure to bring it away. We heated up the board, so there shouldn't be much left. No, we don't want it to get on the screen here. Try to avoid getting alcohol to a screen with a backlight foil. Well, we're looking pretty good, I think. Let's clean it just a little bit with a towel. Pretty much done with cleaning, and I think the result is very nice. Now we're going to take the new battery, and before we install it properly, we're going to test it. First I want to have a look at the PC connectors, so I'm going to open that lid with my nails and align it. Yeah, it's pretty much okay. Let's leave it like that. Now I'm going to lifting that up here. Try to get underneath. Come on. get underneath. Can I? Not that easy, not that easy. Let's go here in. Lift, bend it over the ground pad. And that's it. It looks easier than it may be, but I'm sure you will be able to do it. We don't have to align anything pretty much. Just for the safety, I'm going to put a screw in. Just for the testing. We need the P3 again. I'm just gonna bend that over. Before we connect the battery, ground pad, still up. First I'm gonna connect the flex. For this you may take the something what isn't conductive, so I'm gonna take my ceramic tweezers. Let's have a look under the microscope so we get a little bit more details, how this looks like in close-up. Ring. So I'm taking that with my tweezers, carefully sliding in, pushing the lid down carefully. It doesn't take much effort. In this case it was a bit dumb, but this cable is flexible, so we should be able to pull it a little bit to the side carefully. Nah. Sometimes they are a bit longer. In this case it would be better if we, let me open that up, if we start with the ground pad. Good. Lid down. Okay. Trackpad is also connected. Now I'm testing the machine. With a towel. So I'm going to take my charger and see if the new battery is charging as it's supposed to do. So we're at 19.7 volts. We're charging. Let's focus on the charging. So 19.7 volts, 2.8 amps. So we're pushing power into the battery. So if you want to be really sure, you can leave it there for a couple of minutes, charge it for 10 minutes or so. But in my experience is when there aren't any issues, 1 to 3 minutes should be enough. But as I say, you can leave it there, you can charge it. I wouldn't charge it to 100% because full charge battery have always a lot of power in it. Go until 80 and that should do, and then charge the rest when you're done and everything is closed up. So first I'm gonna open the lid, pull out the flex, ground pad is second, bend it over again about 90 degrees. 1, 2. Now we have to take that out. There's a possibility, if you don't want to do it again because you're afraid of risking breaking something, there is possible to bend the battery over. So you don't have to really make that same pain process again. So it's okay if you bend it a little bit like that. And yeah, we could do that. Let's do that. And I'm looking behind. Maybe 60 degrees, but that's okay. It's all flexible. It's not going to be a big deal. Then I'm going to align everything. I'm just going to lay it down on itself. Put the 2 screws back to align our position. tight. Number 2 is tight. Everything looks nice here. Good. So we can bend that ground pad back. Still in the air, so no connection. Now we gotta push everything where's the best place. We wanna align it. We're gonna have everything straight and maybe a little bit gap around everywhere would be nice. Also make sure you have here, the flex cable won't come over this bridge here and also not here. Make sure everything is flat. Also here you shouldn't be too far up, otherwise you may poke the... Zoom in a bit. Let's zoom in a bit. So just align it everywhere. You should have some space here where the screws are. Make sure it is flat here. And pushing slightly, make sure you have nothing underneath. We don't want to break the screen. So pushing that down. Everything looks very nice. Also this side here. Pushing the flex cables just a little bit downward. Yeah. Now we're gonna connect the trackpad connector with our screws. For this I'm going back to T2. Oh, where am I? Where am I? T4, T3. T3, the smallest one. Screws. Number 1. Don't throw your screwdriver onto the board if possible. Number 2. Then I'm going to hold my thumb here because I don't want it to be misaligned. Push it down a little bit. Left side, right side, and you're flat and good to go. Now we can also push that here back. It's okay if it's not sticking anymore. Nothing can happen here. Good. Next step, board screws, starting with the small one. One here. Another one here. We're still at T2. T3, sorry. Two screws to go. Take your time, don't slip. Okay, board screws are in, everything is nice and flat here, nothing to worry about. Also these are pretty locked up. This we need for the ground pad, which we're gonna do now. The T4 I mean. Screw it down, then I'm gonna take my ceramic tweezers. Push it in. One thing I did recognize, I almost forgotten, there is some tape here. So I'm not sure if they replaced the battery already, because we had one screw missing and this tape was missing here. Normally there's a tape here, a piece of thinner plastic. Good, everything is clean. As you can see, we have here clips and also some tiny clips up here. You won't feel them often. So let's put this back. I'm laying this here. Just lay it down. I'm 4 millimeters, 5 away. And I'm going to slide in there, here and here. And then I'm going to use some pressure on the left side, right side to sneak underneath. Make sure everything is aligned. If you think everything is aligned, I'm just going to go here. Click, click. These two probably won't click. Oh, they do sometimes, but not always. And everything is nice and flat. And before I put the screws in, I want to make sure the battery is still charging okay. Let's give another quick test. 20 amps, a dong, 1.3 amps. Did I say 20 amps? No, 20 volts, 3 amps. 1000 watt. Is that watt? About 60 watt. We're charging about 60 watt now. That's nice to have the watt here. So this machine would probably take a 65 watt charger. The bigger ones have stronger power supplies. Okay, we're still charging. Everything is good. Now let's put what we have here. That looks interesting. Did someone try to take off the paint? Also gonna write this one down. That's a bit risky here on the back side of the screen, but everything is, it's a bit off, but very little. Yeah, it's okay. Good. So now we're gonna take our P5 and put our screws back. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 small ones at the top and big ones, 2 big ones at the bottom. But one screw is missing, and this side is more beautiful, so I'm gonna go and screw that side down. I do not have any screws, so I cannot put one in there. I may ask if we should order, we could order a screw and then the customer can put it back himself. But I do not have one now, and I'm not gonna put one back. We have 5 screws, that still should be enough. And we have a slide in, so this shouldn't come off, actually. And it looks like we're pretty done. We have tested it, we have assembled it. I did a lot of talking. It's about 40 minutes, and I'm sure if I didn't talk, then I would probably make it in 25 minutes. Should be possible, if you're experienced. If you're not experienced, then I think 30-40 minutes. Take it, which steps have to be taken, which you have to be careful or not, and what to be aware of. Yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the battery replacement of a 1706. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.